As praias de águas cristalinas e piscinas naturais formadas entre os recifes fazem de Porto de Galinhas um dos mais belos destinos do Nordeste brasileiro. Este cenário paradisíaco vai receber em agosto o maior evento de propriedade intelectual e direito digital da América Latina. Porto de Galinhas será a sede do 44º Congresso Internacional da BPI, tanto pela infraestrutura e beleza, quanto pela sua proximidade com a capital de Pernambuco. Está a 30 minutos de Recife e do Aeroporto Internacional dos Guararapes. Terra de um povo alegre e hospitaleiro, onde passado e futuro se encontram no misto de história, cultura e inovação, Recife tem a 4ª maior região metropolitana do país e é um hub para o desenvolvimento econômico de outros estados do Nordeste. Além disso, abriga o Porto Digital, um dos mais importantes polos tecnológicos do mundo, onde estão mais de 350 empresas e 20 mil profissionais trabalhando com inovação e tecnologia de ponta. Um cenário que coloca a capital pernambucana entre as 6 cidades líderes mundiais da indústria de TI, segundo o portal internacional Rest of World. E é de olho em todo este potencial que, pela primeira vez, a BPI decidiu levar o evento para a região. Nos dias 12 e 13 de agosto de 2024, os maiores especialistas e profissionais de IPI do mundo todo estarão em Porto de Galinhas para debater os principais temas de propriedade intelectual e direito digital. E também, é claro, para muito networking.
Não perca a chance de fazer parte desse evento. Junte-se a nós no 44º Congresso Internacional da Propriedade Intelectual da BPI. Estamos ansiosos para te receber lá.
Eu vou começar apresentando o primeiro palestrante do dia de hoje. Como mencionei, a língua dessa palestra específica será o inglês, então eu vou mudar para o inglês. Mais uma vez, bom dia e boa tarde para todos aqui, e vamos para o inglês. So today we have our case study that will be presented by Mr. Mohamed Saidou Diallo. I think it's Diallo because it's French, right?
Yeah, Diall.
Diallo. Sorry.
Okay.
He's a WIPO officer. He works in Divisão. And part of his work is provide training for the youth and support projects involving youth and IP. He works to develop videos and documents with advisory materials. And he is a communication specialist who holds a bachelor degree from Kofian University on business administration and a bachelor degree on accounting, marketing, management, and communication. And he also holds a certificate on intellectual property from the University of Geneva. So, Mr. Diallo, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aline, and hi everyone, all the participants, and thanks for the organizers to organize this summer school. And it's a real pleasure for me to be here among you and to give this presentation. Should I give time to the interpreter or should I go on?
You can go on, no problem.
Okay. So today we're talking about let's say supporting young entrepreneurs leverage their IP in the digital economy. And what we need to know is digital economy, new technologies have enabled and encouraged more work to be reconstituted as digital product and distributed through a virtual communication network on the internet. So if back in the days or in the past, we were like doing things physically, now the rising of internet have, like say, changed our attitude, have changed everything, especially in the e-commerce side, where, let's say, the digital is dominating everything. So now we can see that the rising of internet is really affecting our life. And when we talk about, let's say, also in the business environment or in entrepreneurship, we need to understand that this is also important. It's really important that IP also is coming, or IP is also affecting our business. Can you hear me?
Perfectly, we can hear you. The only thing is that the presentation is no longer.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. I think he has a problem with his internet. So let's wait for a few minutes.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, perfectly. Can you hear me?
I think I can hear you. I have a... Sorry. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I think I have there was a disruption. Okay. I really apologize. So there was a okay. So let's come back to the presentation. I'm really sorry. So I was saying that in the business environment, we also noticed that
Mr. Diallo,
IP.
sorry for interrupting you,
Yeah.
but your presentation is no longer in presentation mode. If you could change to presentation mode,
Okay.
please.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see, but the thing is that the presentation is not in presentation mode.
Is it now in presentation mode?
No. If you prefer to, I can pass your presentation. I have
Okay. Okay, please.
I have
Yeah.
that on my
Please.
computer.
Please.
So maybe it's better.
Yeah. I think it's better like this.
So please stop sharing your screen because I will share mine.
Okay.
Oops. Now I'm going to share my screen. 1 minute, please. Sometimes it happens we are talking about technology, and
exactly.
then all of a sudden technology disrupts everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you seeing in the full
Yes,
mode?
I can see. I can see. Yeah.
So let's go.
Okay. So the second slide, please. Okay. Thank you so much. So I was saying that talking also about let's say digital economy, and talking about SMEs, talking about individuals, talking about business, we need to know that IP is playing a key role. So it's really essential for you to include IP rights in protecting your business, your SME, or anything that you are undertaking as creation or invention. Next slide, please. So now, before going to the, let's say the real topic, I'm going to tell you, let's say what for WIPO, how important is to, let's say, engage with the youth, with young people, because we know that, let's say young people or the youth in every country or most of the country, youth represent, let's say, more than the majority of the population. So it's a growing social, let's say, people in every country. So it's very important for WIPO to engage with young people. And we know that IP, intellectual property, is everywhere because it's part of our life. Everything that we have now or everything that we're using, there is IP in. And young people also need to know that it's really important to use IP right. For example, let's take, for example, a phone that we're using. So most of us will need to notice that there are several types of IP in that phone. I'm not going to go in the details, just to show you that how important IP is in our life. So by switching onto IP, young people can find out how to safeguard their own interest and avoid infringing the right of others. The IP system and the right it's confer enable young people to turn their ideas and talents into valuable economic asset. In other words, they can generate income from their ideas. So we have an idea. So with that idea, we can generate income and make it a value that can help us to benefit from what we create or what we created. So young people can even build a business around their ingenuity and create job, and also supporting our local community, because we're talking here about young entrepreneurs. So including IP in, let's say, our creation, or let's say our entrepreneurship, will help us, let's say, to support and even to improve the life of our community, local communities, and contribute to grow the national economy. Next slide, please. So today we know that globally 90% of business value flows from intangible asset, according to financial specialists. This explains why many countries, especially developing countries, are working, and they are working very hard and improving, let's say, to boost the economy by fostering the development of high value knowledge based industry. Because IP rights make it possible, and IP also is becoming more and more present in the life of young people. Next slide, please. So now, why IP is essential for your business? We need to know that a well-crafted intellectual property strategy can help maximize the potential of your business. Using and understanding the IP rights, we can secure competitive advantages, generate revenue streams, reduce tax liability, serve as a source of competitive intelligence, facilitate access to financing, attract investors and partners, avoid and mitigate relevant risk. So when you see those points, you will notice those are, let's say, the advantages of using IP in, with our business, because we know that we're talking about the digital world. So the world is like connected through internet. So it's very important that we, as a young entrepreneur, that we protect our business, because let's say we may face with so many challenges if we don't protect our, let's say, our business. Next slide, please. So what is the benefit of intellectual property right for a business? For example, maybe you are aware about, I know that you are aware about all the IP rights, like patents, trademarks, copyrights, etc. So a brand sets a business apart from its competitors, building trust and consumer loyalty, from reassuring investors to increasing margin using your patent. So this is the case of a patent. So it's very important that entrepreneurs who are involved in inventions need to make sure that they file or they protect their invention through a patent. Now, for those who are involved in another sector, which may include industrial design, so we need to know that, let's say our product, if it is a product that let's say a new product that we made, so it's important that we know that industrial design can provide a major competitive advantage, because someone or some people or some organization may have the same product or looks like our product. So it's very important that any product that we are making, we think about protecting that product. And in the case of copyright, we know that copyright protects the expression of an idea. This is the definition. And also when the source and authenticity matter, using geographical indication can identify your product as being the real deal. So it's help us to make a difference, to say, this is my property, this is my idea. So trade secrets have the potential to protect a wide range of information that has commercial value due to its confidential nature. So now I know that maybe some of you are informed or they know already about the plant breeding, because we have an organization that we called WIPO. So it's within WIPO. It's also, let's say, an organization who is helping to protect some variety of plants, and seeds. Let's say, that is also working with WIPO. So plant breeding help improve plant variety that are important and sustainable means of achieving food security in the context of population growth and climate change. Next slide, please. So I'm going to give you here an example of capacity building, what WIPO is doing for young people and young entrepreneurs. So for example, you have the IP Youth Ambassadors. So the criteria for this is, let's say, it's ages from 6 to 26 years. So it's new users of IP system. It's also, the target is the creator or inventor of a nationally recognized product, startup, small or medium enterprises, SME, or creative artistic work. So to be part of this, let's say, program of IP Youth Ambassador, you must be recognized and nominated by a national IP authority by contacting the WIPO Academy at youthambassador@wipo.int. And you must be like a role model for other young creator and innovator and entrepreneur. Next slide, please. So, and this, let's say I wanted this presentation to be more concrete for entrepreneurs so that I can give you access to more tools that WIPO is offering to young entrepreneurs. Because when we have a tool that we call the IP diagnostic tool, the IP diagnostic tool basically help you to run the diagnostic of your business. So in the next slide, you will have access. There will be a QR code. You will be practicing and you will see for your own. Because when you log into this platform or into this tool will help you basically to answer to so many questions about your own business. And if you answer to the questions, then the platform will give you some advice and saying, this is what you need to protect, this is what you need to. So it's basically how, like the name of the platform is to run the diagnostic of your own business and see what you need in terms of IP. And the second point will be when you want to know about essential IP topics for your business, we have, like, I hope they will be giving you this presentation because it's a hyperlink. You can click on it and you will have access to the, let's say, the guide. It's a guide. This is a guide that was developed to help businesses, to give them advice and so many, let's say, tools. When you want, let's say, as a startup, you want to walk through a startup journey. So this is also the enterprising idea tool that we put in place for young startup and for other businesses. So you want to, if you want to learn more about key issues on developing your IP trust strategy, you want to know, you want to have some advice, you want to have some, let's say, some guidelines on how I can develop my IP strategy. So you have the IP strategy checklist for SMEs. So it's basically a checklist where you will have, let's say, so many information about what you need to develop your IP strategy. So for those, in case of IP and technology disputes, you also have the mediation, and arbitration also guidelines. So all those guidelines or links will help you to get more information about a specific topic, as mentioned in the slide. So and at the end, we have access high quality technology information and related services in your country. You asking yourself if this, for example, is this service available in my own country? So this is the right link for you to know what are the services available in your own country in terms of IP. Next slide, please. So we also have other programs and support to businesses and innovation, because WIPO is working to facilitate or to make it easier or to give more support and more guidelines to young businesses and innovators. We have the IP management clinics for SMEs. This supports, the platform helps to support, let's say, innovative companies on formulating their IP strategy. So it's very important. So we also have the Inventor Assistant Program that help empower inventors and small businesses to navigate the patent system. So we have also the patent drafting training program, so that improve the skills of those who want to file or who want to learn how to file a patent application. We also have the YPod, Make It Your Business. So basically it's a podcast, a series of podcasts where you can listen to have more features on how business can make the most out of their IP. And we also have the Entrepreneurs Online Network. It's basically help you to have strategies, insight from experts, and available resources to put IP to use for business. So in this, through this link, you will have experts in a specific field that will give you advice and provide you concrete solution or concrete ideas or guidelines on how to put your IP or how to use your IP in your business. And also we have intellectual property finance. So because this is also a really important part of having a business, being an entrepreneur, because the finance aspect is also important for your business. So this link will help you to learn more about how to monetize and leverage your IP assets. Next slide, please. So to have access to the podcast that I mentioned earlier, so you have the QR code. So in this slide, you can try the QR code. And if, for example, any of these QR codes are not working or is not working, please let me know. Do not hesitate. We'll make sure that we send you the correct, but I hope it works. Because in this slide, you will see that you will have industry expert interviews. So we made some interviews with some experts about a specific topic that you can have the opportunity to listen and to get more insight. And we also have IP lesson learned and so many takeaway. It's very important. I encourage you to scan this QR code and have access to all those elements in the platform. Next slide, please. So we also have a series of guides. So guidelines that WIPO is, let's say, putting at the disposal of SMEs and different businesses. So you will see on this slide, you also have the QR code. Those are the most recent guides that you can access to. You have, for example, enterprising idea. So this is a recent guide that WIPO put in place. Or let's say inventing the future or creative expression. So you will have access to a lot of guides in this platform through the QR code or even through this link that you will see on the slide. Next slide, please. And the WIPO diagnostic tool, yeah, click once again. There is a QR code. Can you, yeah. Okay, so this is the QR code. So for the WIPO IP diagnostic tools. So please, I encourage you to start, doing the diagnostic of your own business, because it's very fun and very interesting. So while using it, because there are so many questions that you're going to respond about your own business. So please use this QR code and it will be really helpful. Next slide. So thank you, obrigado. So if you have any questions, I'm available to answer to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diallo. I think that WIPO is really concerned about sharing information about IP, especially among the youth. And I would like to ask you, which are the main challenges when we're talking to the youth? Is there anything that is different from other kinds of our audience?
Okay, thank you for the question. Yes, actually, I do agree with you that engaging with young people, it's involving too many challenges. So let's say one of the challenges engaging with young people, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying one of the challenges engaging with, because youth demographic is unique, sorry. And youth from every country or every continent or every region is different. And we also have difference in terms of, how the IP is improved or is promoted in every country. For example, we have our main challenge is in developing countries. In developing countries, we know that the level of let's say IP knowledge is limited. So, and in those countries, we also know that the situation is not suitable compared to another country. For example, when you are bringing IP to a developing country, the first question, one of the first question that a young people will tell you, okay, so I'm going to, let's say you are telling me to protect my invention or my creation. So how does it cost? How much does it cost? That's the first question, because we also have the living condition is difficult. So that would be the first question that the young person will ask you. But compared to like a developed country, this we know that the level of, I mean, IP knowledge is much more like higher than a developing country. So basically, let's say the challenge is the limited IP knowledge in those developing countries. This is why we are improving, or we are pushing to bring IP everywhere to young people. And that's why also WIPO has decided to give some specific offers, like let's say to reduce some fees from countries, I mean from developing countries. So those really helps to encourage those young people from those countries to say, okay, we have like reduced fees, we have some benefit that we can take like as advantages to let's say to adhere to IP right. I hope I answer your question. Thanks.
Yes. Another question before we go to the audience to see if they have any questions. But according to current demographics, most of young entrepreneurs are no longer in developed countries, they are in developing countries. And countries in Asia and Africa mostly, because even Latin America is aging. So those countries were not invited, let's say, when treaties like the Paris Convention and the Berne Convention were drafted. They joined those treaties much later in time. And sometimes, and we are discussing that in these courts, these countries, they have traditional expressions, they have traditional knowledge, and other types of information that are not really addressed by these treaties. And we now have the diplomatic conference in May, where one is supposed to address those issues, how to try to get a balance in IP and protection of this sort of knowledge, in this sort of question. So, is that something that WIPO addresses with the youth? Because, of course, if you are talking about creative economies, we also have this kind of information to be marketed and protected. So, is that something that is somehow addressed by these youth programs?
Sorry,
Oh, I think there's a problem with your internet connection. Mr. Diallo?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
okay. I missed the last part of your question. Sorry, I don't
Okay.
know. It's crazy here. I don't know what is happening with the internet, but sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I missed the last part of your connection, but you can please come up. Yeah.
Yes. The things that, as I was saying, the treaties like the Paris Convention and the Convention, they fail to address the matter of traditional knowledge and the kind of traditional artistic expressions that do not fit into the definition of copyright. So is that materials and program for the youth addressing these matters, because they also, I believe, want to use traditional knowledge and traditional cultural expressions in their businesses.
Yes, exactly. WIPO is let's say is working with different member states and all the stakeholders to address this issue, because talking about the traditional knowledge, you know that you will visit, you can have more information definitely in our website. So the traditional knowledge is we all know that WIPO has a specific project on traditional knowledge. We even have a division that is focused on traditional knowledge. And yes, definitely WIPO is currently working on addressing this issue. Yeah.
Okay, we have one question from the chat. Rafaela Guerrante, who is from the Brazilian Patent Trademark Office, is asking, in your experience with other countries, how young users deal with the difficulties in funding IP filings?
How young
users
okay
deal with difficulties in funding IP filings, because as you mentioned, the first question when you're talking with the youth is, okay, that's great, but how am I going to pay for that?
Yes, honestly, this is also one of part of our challenge. So, but basically when you see in filing a patent from every country, we all know that WIPO has a system where in let's say in 6 different official languages. So, and all those languages will help, like those are official languages, and this is to help, let's say users, or every user, to say that, okay, it's not only one language, so I have options, like there is like so many official language that I can use. So, and apart from that, also we all know that WIPO is trying also to let's say facilitate to people that to those young users to let's say to say that if you have any let's say in the system, when you want to use the system, you need to know that our system is trying to make your life easier through, let's say, because we all know that filing a patent, let's say need to start first with your own country. So there is a proper system where WIPO is trying to, let's say, make life easier to young users.
So we have other questions from the chat. Because people are saying Portuguese that it's very difficult to build IP culture, especially because IP is not seen as something that is like important. So how to break this kind of prejudice and build an IP culture?
Okay, so yes, definitely. People see, and in most of the countries, they see that IP is not something important. But for us, let's say, being part of the youth engagement team, last year we had like a program or a project that we call, let's say, IP Innovation Club. So this is just an example. Basically, we start with engaging with the local authorities and to say, okay, so you need to understand that IP is actually everywhere, and IP will help you to grow your economy. by using concrete example, giving them concrete example, because don't forget that countries, you have like 193 member states in WIPO, but the most difficult thing is how to bring this message to young people. So the basic, this is in this project in Tunisia, for example, the innovation club that we created is to target, let's say 3, because they have centers that they call youth centers, where they are already doing, like, working on robotics, they're working on so many activities. So we try to target those youth centers and then try, because the idea is not come in and teach like in a formal way to teach this is IP, this is IP. No, we're trying to come up with a fun ideas, like to engage with young people. For example, what we do is we try to gather young people together and tell them, can you please think about what is the let's say, what is the main issue of your community? Come up with the main issue of your community. One of them will say, okay, we have a problem accessing to healthcare. Then we will tell to the young people, okay, can you come up with an idea about creating an app or creating anything, any solution that can help your community, or to make it easier, or to help your community to get access easier to the healthcare? Some of them will say, okay, I will be creating an app. This app will be helping my community to get like treatment or to get to a doctor by just an app. This is just an example. So you see, so the strategy is how we involved young people, but in a different way, not to bring them in a classroom and say, this is IP, this is copyright, this. No, we try to involve them. And because IP is not just protecting. WIPO also is making sure, like, let's say, to open, or to, let's say, to open the creativity of young people. So we come up with this kind of idea and tell them, come up with a solution, for example, the main problem of your community. And then when they create, or when they propose that solution, and then we tell them, how are you going to, let's say, protect this idea? So basically, the message is difficult to bring, to bring the message to the young people, but it also, let's say, the approach that you use to bring the message to the young people. This is what we're doing now. Instead of activity, or instead of bringing them in the classroom, it's to initiate a fun project where we involve young people. And the second example is the TikTok competition that we made for Asian countries. And this is what it was last year. So the project was called IP and Tourism. So what we did, we said, because we were targeting 10 countries in Asia, so we were telling them, okay, so make a short video. Through that video, shoot anything like your local dance, your local food, or let's say your landscape. And then you submit the video. We prepared some judges. We selected the 10 best videos. And what we did after all this competition, when we selected the videos, we brought them to Singapore for a boot camp. And we did that with, let's say, TikTok. And we try to bring the IP knowledge and train them on the content creation, how they can monetize their content and everything. So those kind of projects I'm not saying is the best way, but it's a good way to bring, IP to young people in those countries where we are facing with challenges. Thanks.
And many people are in the chat speaking Portuguese and saying that it's key also to bring this sort of knowledge to universities and school. And when I'm talking about schools, I mean elementary schools, high schools. People need to be familiar with IP since an early age. Otherwise, they feel like it's not necessary, something that's boring or something that's expensive. And in Brazil, that's not the reality. For example, for trademarks, filing trademarks in Brazil is very, very inexpensive. I'm saying that because I have people for the Brazilian Patent and Trademark Office here, and they can tell you how cheap to fund an application for trademarks. But the thing is not the reality for patents. So I think there are specific challenges when we are talking about patents and technology in general. Can you address, please, the difficulties, especially in funding technology the money to protect a patent, the money to protect technology in general?
So you to make sure I understand your question, why this difference between, let's say, protecting, let's say, regarding a patent and a trademark? Is this your question, or yeah?
No. How can we address the difficulties coming from funding, from money, to protect patents and technology in general? Because trademarks is much cheaper to protect, much easier, but patents not the case. Because trademark you can file yourself sometimes,
exactly.
But for patents that's not a reality.
Yeah, exactly. So to come up with I mean, to address these challenges in terms of technologies, so we all know that patent is different from other like protection, you know. But what you need to know to address that, WIPO, I will send you the link. WIPO also is worked on a new solution where they make it affordable for some kind of green technologies. So to reduce the fees, to let's say, to reduce the fees and to have like affordable fees for green technologies. And at the same time, this is a way for WIPO to promote green technologies, because we all know that when we take the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goal, so green technologies is now recommended, and it's because we all know, we are not all aware about let's say climate change and everything. So to address, I mean, this is an alternative to bring people to be more interested in green technologies. And when you want to file those kind of protection, I mean, regarding green technologies, you have more advantages. Let's say a reduced fees and affordable fees to let's say to protect your technology. Yeah.
And also another problem that people are discussing Portuguese in the chat is the language, because you probably know that most of the materials available and the national language in general is English. Everything's in English. And in Brazil, it's difficult to overcome such barrier because people do not learn English in an early age. I can give you my own example. I started to really learn English. I was already in law school, and I finished my English course when I was 24. So I was already an adult. So while WIPO is working to overcome this kind of barrier, because even to have actions to disseminate the IP culture. I know that WIPO has other official languages, but sometimes I give you an example. Portuguese is not one of WIPO official languages, so
yeah,
it can be a barrier.
Yes, exactly. This was, let's say, one of the challenges also that people are always like raising. But let's say when you go to WIPO main website, I think now they are working on on simplifying the patent. I mean, everything that regarding, I mean, your protection on the WIPO system. You can let's say very soon I hope there will be like a solution where I don't exactly remember about the specific, let's say, platform where it can help you to let's say to file your application, even if with your own language. But I don't want to like give more detail on that because I don't have the specific, let's say, answer for that. But I will send you the link of let's say this on the website so that you can have information. But of course, WIPO, this discussion has been have been ongoing, and WIPO is definitely working on this so that it can be a barrier or a limit for people to say, okay, this language is not taken care by WIPO, so I don't need to file anything because I don't speak, I mean, the other language. But definitely I will share you the link on that so that you can have more information about that specific issue or topic. Thanks.
Rafaela is asking whether are you considering using the methods, AI and other disruptive technologies in IP learning tools?
Yeah, exactly, because don't forget that IP, the world is moving, the world is becoming modern. Don't forget that WIPO and IP also need to adapt to the evolution of the world. So because now we have, let's say, the AI is a revolution, let's say, in the metaverse. So we have a specific division that they just created at WIPO that they called, let's say, future of IP, and also IP and frontier technology. You will find all those details online because it's a specific division who are working on those topics, AI, how the AI will be like impacting IP in the future, and what IP will look like in the future with the impact of AI and the metaverse. So of course, WIPO, as I said, we have a specific now division who is dealing with those topics, AI and metaverse. So with the first division is let's say IP, I mean feature of IP, so which is within WIPO, and also the second one is IP and frontier technology. So those two divisions are working together to really let's say deal with AI and the metaverse.
But is there any information available on in the metaverse? I mean, is WIPO using the metaverse to disseminate IP? Is there a metaverse environment where you can find WIPO information or not? They're really addressing.
Yeah, for now I can only let's say talk about the AI, because now WIPO is using AI, because when you go in our website, you can have like discussion with the machine and then ask your questions and then like interactive question with the machine. So WIPO is definitely using AI, yeah, considering using AI. But for the metaverse, I want to be very careful about that because I don't have all the information about the metaverse. But of course, let's say that's why I always want you to, when you go to our website, you will see we are this is, I mean, the metaverse is like a discussion ongoing at WIPO. It's a serious discussion. But to give more details, that will be, I mean, for me, I can give you more details for now about the metaverse. But of course, when you go on our website, you get all the information. But definitely AI, WIPO is using AI. Like when you go in our website, you can see it. Thank you.
Daniela is asking regarding WIPO guides enterprising ideas on page 53. It says that the aim of the startup should be to ensure that it has clean title to the IP it creates. How we can understand clean title and how to manage this when developed in partnership with big companies? I mean, I think she's trying to ask about the interplay between the creations of young entrepreneurs and big companies, because sometimes when you are small, you have to work in partnership with big fish. And sometimes the big fish wants everything and adopt an approach that is known as the winner takes it all. Winner is always the big fish. So the young entrepreneurs can protect themselves from this kind of situation.
Yeah, because in that kind of, let's say, honestly, on my point of view, that is a choice, sometimes. But as a young entrepreneur, for example, if it's not like an obligation, like as I understand, to work with a big fish. But of course, working sometimes it's needed, like for your visibility and to grow fast. And that one is, is normally you should be like ruled by, let's say, everything should happen. You need to make sure that you settle specific rules, or you need to make sure that you try to protect as much as possible your business. But anyway, it's something that, for me, I can say it's a choice. Yeah.
So there is another question in the chat from Pamela. Pamela is from Argentina. She asked, may I ask why WIPO Prof is no longer available? I find it was so useful for entrepreneurs from developing countries.
Why WIPO? Sorry, WIPO.
I think so. A WIPO program. She wrote WIPO Prof, PROFF, is no longer available. WIPO Proof. Sorry, it was
Okay.
misspelled.
WIPO Proof. Okay.
Yes.
So I think he's referring to she's referring to the proof evidence that the digital file of your intellectual assets existed at the specific point of time. Maybe it's something like this, but I don't think if I think it's still available, but I need to check and come back to you, because because I don't think it's still, because the website, yes, I think there is yeah, exactly, because me too, I'm receiving let's say an error message on the WIPO website. Yeah, definitely this thing will be I need to go back to the specific division in charge of this, and then of course this is noted, and I will come back with you on the reason why it's not available. Thank you.
Gente, alguém tem mais alguma pergunta? Temos minutinhos para mais algumas perguntas, tá? Fiquem à vontade, se vocês quiserem fazer alguma pergunta específica sobre disseminação de conhecimento de propriedade intelectual e tal, especialmente porque tem muita gente aqui que é de escritório de propriedade intelectual e cada escritório tem os seus desafios, né? Então, se alguém, de alguma forma, quiser também compartilhar sua experiência, eu vi vários funcionários do INPI aqui comentando, né, sobre o INPI e falando, né, que o INPI tem diversos programas, tanto para escolas de nível fundamental e médio, quanto para profissionais, mas de um modo geral, né, a percepção é que o conhecimento não chega nas universidades, infelizmente. Então, se alguém, tem pessoas aqui que eu sei que são do escritório de Angola, se alguém de Angola quiser também compartilhar a experiência em Angola, por favor, fique à vontade. Eu imagino que que as experiências em Angola sejam diferentes. And I don't know whether Mr. Diallo has any experience dealing with Angola, Mozambique, Cabo Verde, and other countries in Africa.
Not those specific like countries, but of course, let's say remember that I'm part of like the youth engagement team. So of course, there are some colleagues like in different division maybe who dealt with those countries, but definitely in terms of the youth engagement, our objective is to make sure that we target let's say every country where WIPO is operating. But of course, it cannot be like let's say it's a process because we are targeting like because those countries are really, let's say they really need, let's say WIPO to improve or to promote IP in those countries, but not specifically those countries, but in Africa, yes, we are we are working on some project that is targeting different countries in Africa.
Alguém mais tem alguma pergunta? Fiquem à vontade de fazer perguntas, tá? Aproveitar aqui a presença de um representante da OMPI. Se vocês tiverem também qualquer pergunta sobre algum programa da OMPI, eu queria que vocês aproveitassem, por gentileza, esse momento para fazer a pergunta, tá? A gente tem mais 2 minutinhos. Então, se vocês quiserem aproveitar um momento. Silêncio. Então, eu acho que se ninguém, na ausência de perguntas, né, a gente agradece ao Mohamed Diallo. Mr. Diallo, thank you very much.
You're
It
welcome.
was great.
I know most of the question were in Portuguese. If you have any like question that I couldn't answer because I'm not like let's say working with every division, but if there are like some question that I couldn't answer or I didn't give you like let's say a satisfied answer, please let's send those questions to me. And then because I checked, but it's in Portuguese, so if you can send me all the questions that you think that I could not answer, so I will definitely send you back with the right information. Yeah, thank you.
Pamela is just thank you and thank you, WIPO, for the opportunities given during the pandemic. And she mentioned that she was able to get many trainings during this time, and it was awesome. So I think everybody is happy with the information provided and how the presentation was made. And Carla's from Angola. She mentions that she's happy to have the help of WIPO, EPO, and ARIPO in disseminating the IP culture.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Diallo.
Thank you.
We are now going to the next panel. If you wish, you can stay.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was a pleasure.
I think
I will just I have another meeting, so but it was definitely a pleasure. It's definitely a pleasure. Yeah.
As praias de águas cristalinas e piscinas naturais formadas entre os recifes fazem de Porto de Galinhas um dos mais belos destinos do Nordeste brasileiro. Este cenário paradisíaco vai receber em agosto o maior evento de propriedade intelectual e direito digital da América Latina. Porto de Galinhas será a sede do 44º Congresso Internacional da BPI, tanto pela infraestrutura e beleza, quanto pela sua proximidade com a capital de Pernambuco. Está a 30 minutos de Recife e do Aeroporto Internacional dos Guararapes. Terra de um povo alegre e hospitaleiro, onde passado e futuro se encontram no misto de história, cultura e inovação, Recife tem a 4ª maior região metropolitana do país e é um hub para o desenvolvimento econômico de outros estados do Nordeste. Além disso, abriga o Porto Digital, um dos mais importantes polos tecnológicos do mundo, onde estão mais de 350 empresas e 20 mil profissionais trabalhando com inovação e tecnologia de ponta. Um cenário que coloca a capital pernambucana entre as 6 cidades líderes mundiais da indústria de TI, segundo o portal internacional Rest of World. E é de olho em todo este potencial que, pela primeira vez, a BPI decidiu levar o evento para a região. Nos dias 12 e 13 de agosto de 2024, os maiores especialistas e profissionais de TI do mundo todo estarão em Porto de Galinhas para debater os principais temas de propriedade intelectual e direito digital. E também, é claro, para muito networking.
Não perca a chance de fazer parte desse evento. Junte-se a nós no 44º Congresso Internacional da Propriedade Intelectual da BPI. Estamos ansiosos para te receber lá.